Before this video gets started, I just want to ask if you could hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy this content. I'm nearly at 4,000 subscribers on this channel, and I would love to hit 4,000 if not more by the time this series of Doctor Who ends. It is my goal, and yeah, thank you very, very much, and let's get on with the video. Okay, I'm coming at you this time with a pretty big theory, and we all know from last year my theories tend to not turn out to be true. But I really think I'm onto something with this one, and I'm not the only person that spotted it after watching Lucky Day. Let me just dive into this because I've got it laid out in a specific way that's going to make more sense if I just read it out to you rather than just waffling on. So Mrs. Flood isn't just a neighbour, she isn't just an observer, she isn't just working for the Trickster, but she also might be the Rani. The Rani is a Time Lord known for her ruthless scientific curiosity, her willingness to manipulate species for her own research, and most importantly, her obsession with understanding and controlling time itself. For centuries, she has experimented with genetic modification, temporal distortions, and universal shifts. And now, she may have found the perfect test subject, a human willing to reshape reality with a single wish. If Mrs. Flood is the Rani, then her presence throughout this full series arc isn't random, because she's studying something. The Trickster thrives on chaos, bending reality for his own amusement, but the Rani isn't interested in destruction for its own sake. She doesn't care about ruling a broken universe, she cares about knowledge. If she's working with the Trickster, it might not be out of loyalty. It could be because she needs his reality warping abilities for a greater experiment. So what if Wishworld isn't just a trap, it's an experiment, a controlled study of how one human's desire can rewrite the fabric of time itself? The Trickster gets his chaos, and the Rani gets her data. And the Doctor? He's the wild card, the unknown variable, that threatens to break the whole experiment apart. Her conversation with the Doctor in the church on Ruby Road immediately set off alarm bells. She doesn't ask, she doesn't figure it out. She just already knows. This feels exactly like the Rani, calm, calculating, and uninterested in small talk. If she has been embedded into the Doctor's timeline, then she isn't just an observer, she's been watching him for a purpose. And by season 2, Mrs. Flood is showing up in completely different eras. 1952 Miami, 500,000 years in the future. It's not that she has multiple versions of herself scattered through time like Susan Triad did. She is actively travelling, choosing her moments carefully, ensuring she is present where she needs to be. If she is the Rani, this possibly means she's travelling with purpose, observing how different points in time are reacting to the Trickster's manipulations. If the Trickster is directing her, then she may not have full control over where she appears. She could be acting under instructions, arriving at specific moments to guide the events. This would frame her less as a rogue scientist and more as someone operating within the Trickster's grander plan, using his knowledge to place herself in critical positions. If she's following his directions, then does she know the full scale of what he's planning, or is she being manipulated too? Mrs. Flood isn't just near Ruby, she's near Belinda Chandra too. Two companions, two people deeply connected to the Doctor. It's unlikely this is a coincidence. It's very clear in fact this isn't a coincidence. If she has positioned herself near them, then she may be observing the roles in the Doctor's timeline, waiting for the right moment. And then there's Conrad, the one person willing to make a wish powerful enough to rewrite reality. The Trickster needs Conrad to set events in motion, but if Mrs. Flood is the Rani, then she's studying the process itself, not just Conrad's emotions, but the mechanics of how his wish restructures history. She isn't just watching, she's actively gathering data, monitoring how the universe bends under the weight of human desire. Mrs. Flood might not be working for the Trickster at all. She might be just the Rani, using his chaos for her own scientific research. She's embedded into the Doctor's timeline to study reality manipulation firsthand. She ensures Conrad's wish takes hold, creating the perfect test scenario. She waits for the Doctor to use the Vindicator, putting himself and Belinda into Wishworld so she can witness reality unravelling firsthand. She actively travels through time, placing herself exactly where she needs to be. I should also probably mention here that my theory on why the Doctor and Belinda getting dragged back into Earth, or this new Wishworld reality, is a bad thing, because the two of them were never involved when the wish was made, which means that the two of them are being bounced off Earth because they're not supposed to be there. So when the Doctor uses the Vindicator to take them into Earth, this would then start to unravel that reality because something's been in it that shook it and started its destruction, basically throwing it off balance, which is something that the Trickster would want. Also, the reason that we've seen in the very first episode that the Eiffel Tower, the pyramid, and the cab, all that kind of stuff was floating in space, it is very, very possible that Earth was actually destroyed to create this new version of Earth. So it's very possible that the pyramids and the Statue of Liberty are irrelevant and they're just leftover parts of what Earth used to be, and that's why they were floating in space. Or it could just mean that the Doctor got there after Earth was already destroyed. It could be that the time works different in the Wish world and it's maybe been like a year when really it's only been an hour. If the Doctor is facing three major forces manipulating reality, then the Holy Trinity might be the Trickster, the architect of chaos, the entity that wraps reality beyond recognition, feeding off distortion and rewriting history, the Rani, the scientist, using the Trickster's chaos as a controlled experiment, monitoring how far human wishes can push the boundaries of time, and Conrad, the catalyst, the unwitting participant whose desperation fuels the reality shift, unknowingly giving the Trickster and the Rani the perfect test subject. Not only that, I have broke this down, so here's how this structure would work. Conrad makes a wish, unknowingly setting the chain of events into motion. The Trickster manipulates the chaos, ensuring Wish World unfolds in a way that maximises reality's instability. The Rani observes and studies the collapse, measuring how far reality can bend before breaking. If Mrs. Flood is the Rani, then she isn't just a pawn, she's a participant, knowingly shaping events to serve her own scientific curiosity. And if these three forces are working in tandem, then the Doctor isn't just fighting one enemy, he's unravelling an interconnected conspiracy that embedded itself deep into time. If she is the Rani, then she isn't just being led by the Trickster, she's making her own moves within this experiment. She positions herself near Ruby and Belinda, ensuring she has full access to the companions most connected to the Doctor. She watches as Conrad makes his wish, studying how Wish World takes hold. She waits for the Doctor to use the Vindicator, knowing it will force him and Belinda into a timeline, causing it to collapse. She isn't just blindly following orders, she's working with the chaos, gathering results for her own purposes. So the real question is, does she stay loyal to the Trickster, or does she break away once she gets the knowledge that she wants? So we know the Doctor isn't just facing one villain. He's facing three forces shaping time to their own advantage. Conrad wishes for power, the Trickster warps reality, the Rani studies the collapse. And the Doctor? He's about to materialise straight into a war between chaos and scientific curiosity, with reality itself at stake. So yeah, that's the theory that I'm going to roll with for the rest of the 4 episodes that's still to come this year. I really, really think that I actually am onto something with this one. And yeah, I hope it is true, because it would be really nice to see the Rani back after all this time. I'm surprised that they've not used the Rani. I do know there was problems with copyright and stuff like that, but they've probably managed to sort that out some way. But yeah, let me know what your guys' theories are, because I really love reading them. Some of them are like really, really cool and interesting. It's amazing how our brains work as Doctor Who fans. We always read far too much into everything. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. We're nearly at 4,000 subscribers. I'd be so grateful if you could help and get us at 4,000 by the end of this series at least. It would be great.